This section heading is called Verifying our PHP Installation. So what we're going to do in this section is we're going to place a couple of test scripts inside the web services directory where we're going to execute them. This is not only going to test our PHP installation, it's also going to verify that PHP can interact with MySQL as well as Apache. So the first test script that we're going to place inside of the web services directory, we're actually going to create. So we're going to type sudo nano, and then we need to provide the path to the web services directory, and then the file name is going to be called info.php. Once inside of here, we're going to add some PHP code. So your PHP is going to be encapsulated within the following script tags. So we have an opening tag and a closing tag. Now what we're going to have inside of here for code is just a single PHP statement. It's going to be a function, the PHP Info Function. So this function over here is going to follow the typical construct for a function, where it has an intuitive name that describes what the function's purpose is, and then also an open and close bracket. Now, unlike MySQL, where some of your MySQL statements, the semicolon was optional, with PHP, you're always going to have to terminate every PHP statement with a semicolon. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to save and exit. So Control X, Y to save, and hit Enter. So now to execute this script, we're simply just going to navigate to it from a browser. So we're going to go to yourbank.com and then /info.php. So what we're seeing here on the screen are the configuration settings for our PHP installation. So this is not only telling us that PHP is working, it's also letting us know that PHP is working with Apache. So now the second script that we're going to add to the web services directory, we're not going to create. We're simply just going to transfer it via WinSCP. So I'm going to minimize the browser, minimize the terminal, and then we'll execute that application. So we'll log in, provide our password, and now once inside of here, we're going to need to adjust our working directories. So I'm going to go over to support, then we're going to go inside the desktop, inside of labs, and then we're inside of lab 2B. And then here's that test script. So we're simply just going to drag this over to the web services directory on the right. But first we need to adjust that working directory. So I'm going to go double click here, double click again. So go down to root and then var www web server, and then here's our web services directory. So we'll simply just click and drag. And now we're going to execute the script once again by navigating to it from a browser. So we'll click on the browser and then we'll type in the file name. So test.php. Now what this is telling us is that we can establish connections from PHP scripts to a MySQL database. And we can see over here the database name is SiteOff.